The topic of the presentation is the preliminary psychometric evaluation of a newly developed receptive vocabulary test for children. I will present the background, methods, data analysis, results, and the future plan. Why is it important to assess the vocabulary ability of children? First, vocabulary is the fundamental unit to build up the language. It is one of the predictors of early language development. And second, vocabulary development are correlated to reading and writing skills, verbal intelligence, and academic performance. So, a vocabulary test is a tool to facilitate the identification of vocabulary weakness. It provides evaluable, valuable information for early language intervention and academic remediation. There are a lot of English vocabulary tests which are validated overseas. We also have a local test named Cantonese Receptive Vocabulary Test. However, there are some limitations. Details of the psychometric properties are not reported on the manual, and the test is published 25 years ago, so the validity is questionable. So we are trying to develop a new receptive vocabulary test. This is one of the test plays of the new test. The photo on the right shows the item presentation setup. Visual and auditory output is presented by computer. The item pool consists of 260 vocabulary items. They are collected mostly from books and dictionaries. Items are revised after expert advice and pilot test result. The content validity is established earlier. Now we introduce COSMIN. COSMIN is an instrument with the aim to improve the quality of studies on measurement properties. This picture is the taxonomy of measurement properties proposed by COSMIN. We are going to establish the psychometric properties of the new test with reference to the COSMIN taxonomy. In this presentation, I will focus on the internal consistency reliability, the test-retest reliability, and two hypothesis testing to provide evidence on the construct validity. Method. 1,245 children aged from 2.5 years old to 6 years, 5 months participated in this study. They formed 11 age groups. Their dominant language is Cantonese. Language screening was conducted to put participants into normal language group and language impaired group. All of them completed the 260 items field test. This table shows the demographic of participants. They are recruited from schools, social media, and there is a diagnostic accuracy group with participants referred by speech therapists. This sample is merged into the psychometric sample, and it is also for later discriminant validity measurement. Distribution of children with normal language ability and language impairment is shown on these two columns. Data analysis and results. Reliability is the measure of consistency, and the internal consistency reliability helps to assess whether the 260 test items are correlated and measuring the same construct. The construct here refers to the receptive vocabulary ability. Statistical test named Krumpett's alpha is conducted. The result is 0.98, which is very close to 1. So the internal consistency of the test is excellent. The retest reliability is the reliability of tests over time. 55 participants repeated the field test in 2 weeks interval. We calculate the intra-class correlation coefficients, and the result is 0.97, which represents high retest reliability. And the construct validity. Validity is the measure of the accuracy. Hypothesis making can provide evidence on the construct validity. So we have 2 hypotheses here. The first hypothesis is there is no significant difference on the receptive vocabulary test score between the group of children with versus without language impairment. 2 independent sample t-tests is conducted on the entire sample and every age group. The language impaired group has a significantly lower mean score than the normal age group in entire sample and every age group. And the second hypothesis is the receptive vocabulary test score increases with the chronological age of children. Analysis of variance is conducted. The table shows increase in mean score with chronological age. And the result of ANOVA shows age is a significant variable in receptive vocabulary total score. Pairwise comparisons with shuttle tests are conducted. Age group pairs with significant difference in mean score are shown on the table. So we summarize that the psychometric properties of the test that we have established is satisfactory. Here comes to the further plan. First, we still need to continue establishing the psychometric properties of the test. And the ultimate goal of this project is to develop a computerized adaptive receptive vocabulary test. By statistical method, we eliminate vocabularies which have no discrimination power. And then we calibrate the rest of the test item with item difficulty parameter. This graph simulates a child conducting a computerized adaptive test. The x-axis shows the order of test item presentation, and the y-axis shows the difficulty level of that test item. Green dot means a correct response from the chart, and the red dot means a wrong response from the chart. If the chart gives correct answer, that is the green, that is green color, the next question will be more difficult. If the chart gives the wrong answer, that is red, the computer follows up with an easier question. This process will be continued until the difficulty level of the questions are stabilized. Then we know the receptive vocabulary ability of the child. So what is the advantage of this test? In this way, test administration time will be largely reduced. And it will be a test which is easy to administer, efficient, and suitable for young children with relatively short attention span. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you.